Hey Sophia, you're an IB, right?
Yeah, I am. Why?
Because I have some volunteer hours, but I don't know how to record them or get any more.
You don't have all your volunteer hours yet? Tough luck. You're gonna have to wear this.
Sophia didn't have to wear the dunce cap because she used AFTC, an application that both streamlined getting and recording volunteer hours. AFTC is the application we made with the intention of helping people with problems like Radan in finding and recording their volunteer service hours.
That's Sakriti Bose. I'm Sophia Siddiqui.
And I'm Radan Jagwala.
You might be wondering what AFTC stands for. It stands for All for the Community. It's an application made with the intention of helping people get access to volunteering opportunities while also providing an easy way to record hours. You might be wondering how AFTC came to be. It started off when we focused on our struggles as students and soon-to-be members of the new workforce. This included difficulties finding volunteering opportunities, as well as lacking a comprehensive record of our already completed service hours. This application would also serve as helpful for those looking to join organizations such as IB or NHS, looking to improve college applications, as well as resumes. We had three primary goals while working on this. The first including to create a platform that would appeal to organizations and encourage them to organize volunteering opportunities. The second, to allow people to sign up as volunteers and access a wide library of volunteering options to sign up for. And the third being to record service hours and send notifications to volunteers and organizations for accessibility and easy documentation. We had three main stages throughout this process. The first being to organize meetings, which were every day, by the way, whether that was virtual on Google Meet or face-to-face at the library, as well as brainstorming the different components that we needed. Second was to download all four softwares that we needed, which we will elaborate on, and actually coding the project. And the third being to review the code, finalize everything, and talk about future action we plan to take in the summer. More on that later. Why were meetings needed and what was talked about in the meetings? We focused on how to regulate our workload, organize important checkpoints, and talk about key concepts such as the front-end code, the back-end code, the API in between, and more. Key features of our application include a volunteer sign-up and login, organization sign-up and login, event creation, event sign-up, and event participation verification, as well as volunteer and organization dashboards with reports.
For our application, we have used multiple technologies. For our front-end web app layer, we used the Next.js framework, which is hosted on Node.js server. We hosted a Java API layer using Java Spring Boot framework with many dependencies such as logging, Maven, MySQL connector, and Lombok. Lastly, for the backend layer, we use MySQL database for data storage and MySQL Workbench to view data. We have also used multiple softwares in our application. The IntelliJ Java IDE was used for API development, while Postman was used for API testing. Visual Studio Code was used for Next.js front-end development. MySQL Database and MySQL Workbench was used for database management. And lastly, GitHub as the code repository. Also, a special thanks to Sophia's dad for being a mentor to us and guiding us through this process. Now we will take a look at the application that we have created. So this is the home page, and on the top is the header where there are multiple menus. On the top left-hand side of the screen, you can see our logo. If you would like to become a volunteer or sponsor an event, you can click on those two buttons in the middle of the screen. Now when we go to who we are, you can see our missions, our values, and our vision. On the Contact Us page, we have our office hours and contact information listed. If you have an issue and you would like to speak with us, you can fill out this form and we will get your message. And now, in the Meet the Team page, me, Sophia, Sukriti have created this, while Mr. McBrayer being the technology advisor for our application.
Navigating back to the home page, we can see that there are a few different places to sign up to become a volunteer or to log in to become a volunteer. One on the home page and a drop-down menu as well. Clicking on Become a Volunteer, we are navigated to the volunteer registration page. If we scroll all the way down and try to submit, we come up with a validation error that says that we must first fill out every single one of the fields required. After doing this, we also see examples of the very specific validation errors that we included, such as needing to include an @ in our email. Even then, we still get an error message because our phone number is not 10 digits. And lastly, we have a password that must be between 8 and 20 characters. After filling this out, we can click as Register as a Volunteer and see a successful login notification on the top left corner. This navigates us automatically to the volunteer login page, where after we log in, we also get a login successful message. Now, at the top left of the page, we see a specialized welcome message that specifically welcomes Sophia, the volunteer, as well as a logout button next to that message. Scrolling down, we see that at the top of the volunteer dashboard, there is a place to search and sign up for events. For example, if we signed up for a food drive, we can click sign up for the event and it shows that we have signed up successfully. Now, going to the bottom of the page, we see that there is an events volunteering report, which shows tabular data and graphical data. For our tabular data, it shows the event name that we signed up for, the times that we signed up for, and the hours we have received. And on the right of that, we see a graphical representation of the same data. Now, clicking log out, we are navigated back to the home page. Much like the volunteer sign up, there is also a place on the home page to sponsor an event, and a drop-down menu to log in and register as well. Since we have already shown you the registration, let us directly go to the login. It shows our login successful message on the top right corner. At the top of the page, we see a section to sponsor a new event. It has 4 required fields: an event name, an event start date and time, an event end date and time, and a location. We even included a calendar to streamline the process of an event end date and time so that you do not have to manually put in all of the details. After filling out the details and the location, we can click sponsor an event and it shows us that an event has successfully been created. Scrolling down, we see an event attendance update. It shows the name of the event that we have created, the volunteer ID, which we plan to improve in the future to instead show the volunteer's name, and a checkbox next to their ID. If we check this box, it will show that they have come to the event and they will get their hours. However, if they have not shown up, we leave the checkbox blank and they will not receive the hours. Now, scrolling to the very bottom of the page, we come to an events volunteering report similar to the volunteering one. This one also has a table and a graph, which shows the event name and the total number of hours that people participated, as well as a graphical representation of that. Now, we navigate to the home page by logging out. Scrolling down, we see what is coming next for our application. Sophia, take it away.
As you can see, our application is already up and running. However, we do believe that there is some kind of scope for improvement. This is what we talked about earlier with our plans for the summer. We plan to innovate to serve you guys better, and here are some exciting features coming your way, including a secure payment gateway integration, email and text integration, serverless technology, passwordless logins with one-time codes, QR codes and short URLs for events to sign up, advertising through social links and functions such as likes and dislikes, reviewing and fixing any existing bugs and enhancing features, and finally, face-to-face meetings with organizations to sponsor events. Now, before we finish things off, we'd like to show you a few snippets of our code. Starting off with MySQL database. This is our database. As you can see, there are tables created for our volunteers, organizations, events, and participations. And if you go back to the volunteers, you can see the demo volunteer we just created a few moments ago, stored in the database, as well as the event that was created by Hugon just a few moments ago. Heading over to IntelliJ, this served as our API. If you don't know what an API is, it serves as a bridge between the front-end code and the back-end code. As you can see, we're using our volunteer service as an example, and we can use our login functionality here, which took in my email and my password. Heading over into Postman, this was our API tester. Sending in the data that I logged in with just a few moments ago, you can see that the data is retrieved. This isn't my real password, it's okay. Heading over to Visual Studio Code, this was the front-end code. And you can see the things such as the header, the footer. Heading back over to our website, actually, you can see that the header is what's at the top of the page, the footer is what's at the bottom, and you can see all the little core functionalities of it if you go back into Visual Studio Code. And if Freelon could change all for the community to AFTC for me really quick, you can see that if you navigate back, the changes are all applied in real time. All right, so that's all we have.
I'm Sakriti Bose.
I'm Vedant Jagwala.
And I'm Sophia Siddiqui. Thank you
Thank you for having
us.
us.